Well, it looks like Tommy over at Mafia Sports Report got this one wrong. He had said the Bills were going to win 36-13 or 16. He was obviously wrong big time because the Bills won 41-7. I had hoped there was going to be a game out of this. I had said in my lead up how much I loved the matchup from last year. And early goings, it seemed like that was going to be the case, but that quickly evaporated. So I want to cover the game, get into it. But before I do that, I really have to start off with the most important thing of this game, and that's the health of Dane Jackson. If you haven't seen the game or saw that hit, his neck was just driven back at 180 pounds by 250-pound Edmonds, the linebacker, and it was horrifying. I could feel my skin crawl. I immediately thought about what it must be like for the family of Dane Jackson to see this, the teammates, how bad Edmonds must feel. And this is why the game of football is just a game. But really, there's moments when it becomes way more than that. So my prayers go out to Dane Jackson and his family. I hope it is not as bad as it looks. And I'm expecting to hear that. So just wanted to start off with that because really that's the most critical thing. That's the reality of the game that we love, that he loves. But unfortunately, there is a price that sometimes is paid. So hopefully it's not too big of a price. Anyway, before I get into all that other stuff, I want to give a shout out to you guys for stopping by here. Got the new look to the joint. Going to try to improve it and work on it. It's not permanent. It's just a temporary thing to get stuff out quickly and fill in the gaps. The old style is still the main style, but this is something that needs to be implemented. But I thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the likes, comments, and subscribes. You guys make this show happen. I'm really always grateful for everything you guys do. So many great people. But I also want to give a shout out to Ace Per Head, my sponsor, because without them, this show ain't going down. Ace Per Head's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. Now on to the game. Titans, it seemed early on they were going to be like the game last year. Bills were going to start out a little bit hot. Titans were going to muscle their way, fight their way, scratch their way, and get back to a very close game and make this a fourth quarter game. But it didn't materialize to that at all. Now, there's nothing to take away from the Bills. They played excellent. But Titans came out very sloppy. I'll get into that. They had the injury to Luan early, which was devastating with the front that the Bills have, especially with Vaughn right there. And then they just could not get on track. And rookies, young guys, made some critical mistakes that kind of spelled the doom. But the Bills certainly helped them out quite a bit, obviously. And Allen, most of all, was just excellent. And I'll get into why I thought it was such an excellent game. Now, started out with the Singletary run. I kind of like the way they opened up with the running backs taking the load off Allen. They got that nice edge run that I kind of talked to about in the lead up. Singletary just popped a nice one. This guy, when he hits that hole, he hits it 1,000 miles an hour, and this is why you just got to get these guys the ball more. And I think between the tackles, I kind of liked a lot of the runs that I saw tonight, a little bit more than last week. So it's good to show that Dorsey, he has diversity, he's able to grow, he's able to adapt, and this is only his second game. So I thought this was a good look for the Bills and their offensive coordinators. Now, it seemed, there was an early touchdown, and I thought that Gillum missed tackle on the screen was just a really not a good thing. It felt like, whoa, this is a bad deal because Titans don't do that, and you can't do that against the Bills. You've got to make every opportunity to limit them happen. And it was false starts for first downs, just sloppy play after sloppy play. But they were getting physical. You had Bud Dupree having that great blitz, driving Dawkins back into Allen. I'm like, whoa, okay. Maybe we are going to get this physical game. It was around 7-7 at the time. And then, Josh started taking over. He had that run. This is the kind of run he had to make. It wasn't in the works. But, when you see this makes the guy so special. And I complain a little bit about seeing this kid survive. And even the commentators started mentioning it a lot. And I think a couple times during the game. But this was an unbelievable run, almost like a backbreaker. And it came through the flow of the game rather than design. And it was great. And it was his only run of the day, which was, it was amazing. It was amazing to see that McDermott and Dorsey are taking the short-term view and the long-term. Now, this was a game that was under control. They didn't feel like they needed Josh magic. Sometimes when things get tight, they pucker up and they go right to the well too much. So we'll see how it plays down the road. Now, the Edmund blitz and the pressure that was starting to mount when Luan went down. You saw I talked about Brewer. They even mentioned he's 270 pounds. And he got jacked up and blown up. And he's going to be a concern going forward. But the pressure kept on coming. Rousseau had some great pass rushes. Edmonds had some great pass rushes. And it eventually got to Tannehill. But really, again, the Titans, I really didn't like their game plan. Now, Henry, he had success inside, and I thought that's where they should have gone. But they kept trying to hit the perimeter, and over and over and over again, it was a failure. It was so bad that Henry had 25 yards on the day. And yeah, the Bills clearly were a part of that, but I thought the Titans were running into the strength of the Bills' defense. I thought it was a poor game plan. They were actually, they were down a major blocker. So I believe there was give and take on this. I thought it was just stubbornness. And I think that Vrabel even mentioned it. We have to start making these run calls to the right places. And it was just way too many edge runs that just got canceled. And that's a testament to the edges of the defense, to the defense itself. But when you got Oliver out and you got Settle out, it just doesn't make sense to keep hitting the edges and not attacking the middle part of the defense. Now, that penalty that Titans had, they were kind of getting into it. They had that nice Burks run for the long first down, but then they got that penalty on the screen that killed them and started sending them down for failure after failure. The punt fumble was the death knell. It was over at that. 24-7. You figure maybe they could kind of, but that, or was it 17? I don't know. But that was the death knell. That's what I said. All right, this game's over. I kind of start snoozing, grabbing clips and stuff like that. And, in the end, Allen, pass after pass after pass. Diggs, what an unbelievable day he had. 148 yards and 3 TDs with Davis out. Davis wasn't in there. And, yes, the Titans, that secondary is a little soft. They have young guys that are trying to get up. But, Kumro came up huge. He had 2 or 3 big passes that altered the game. And it shows the depth of the Bills. But really, Allen, to buy time, to have that arm, to do all the things he do, was the generator. He ended up with 26 for 38 and a very tame 317 yards with 4 TDs. And like I said, only 1 carry. But I liked that it was 1 carry by Allen and 20 carries by the backs. Cook had 11. To be honest, I didn't really catch once it was the blowout session. I was trying to put this thing together. I'm going to go back and watch the game as a whole. But this is the formula for long-term success. There's going to be times in big games where Allen's going to have to do his thing. But he needs to be taken care of. And I tell you the truth, I was kind of rooting against you guys this game. I felt for the Titans, and I felt some of the old animosity, like, I don't want, I don't want this team to go 16-0. So I was like, I want to get the loss early, and I can really kind of sort of be happy for you guys a little bit more down the road. But it kind of faded, especially when Dane Jackson got injured. I was like, this is something that needs to happen. And then the sloppy play, I don't think it was the defense so much. It was some rookie mistakes. But the offense, I thought, was a very poor game plan. And I was like, you know what? Bills really deserve it. So I kind of was like, oh, okay. And I really do want the Bills to come in 2-0 against the Dolphins, who are 2-0. And if the Dolphins win, I want them to take a full powered-up Bills. Have this an epic lead-up meeting between two 2-0 teams for the division in the AFC East in Miami's house. So it was a little bit of like, even Allen, my like for Allen started to fade a little bit, but it kind of dissipated, and I kind of got back into sort of rooting for you guys. The Titans I do believe they have a good future. Tannehill got pulled out. There's a lot of issues for this team, but I think that they're going to get back and pull things together. I don't know if they're going to I think they'll make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to get the conference again. I don't see that magic around them. But there's a lot of good pieces there, a lot of rookies that are developing, and this thing's kind of heading away from Tannehill, it appears. So there's a lot of stuff around that I like. Colts are really struggling. I'm not really sold on Jacksonville or the Texans, although I really feel like there's some solid stuff building up there. But neither one of those teams do I feel is in the Titans equal to the Titans now or the future. Although Lawrence with the Jags is a very scary thing, and Mills with the Texans does seem like he's a guy who he's surprising, and they're a feisty team. So it'll be interesting to see for the Titans. I still think this year they're going to eventually take the division lead. I think the long term these picks do look pretty good, but I don't think it's going to head to the direction I had hoped or expected for either the Colts or the Titans. And I think a lot of that revolves around the offensive lines for both teams, because the protections and the ability to run the football has looked very poor. First week, Colts ran the ball really, really well, and they blew that game. But next week, they struggled to run, and the Titans have really struggled to run 2 weeks now. So anyway, Titans, best of luck. Your team's a great team. Vrabel's a great guy, but you're just not – I don't think you're ready for the big show yet. Bills, on the other hand, clearly showing they are the class of the NFL. Kansas City is showing something, and Chargers, I thought were going to show something. They kind of let something down, and you got your injured quarterback over there. Herbert's injured, and so that's a major downer. Bills really are looking like the top of the AFC and the AFC East, but that can change this week. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Anyway, Bills fans, you enjoyed the victory. You guys are 2-0, going to come to Miami to meet my 2-0 Dolphins. I'm not totally sold they're going to beat you, and I'm not totally sold that you guys are invincible. I'm very interested to see the week leading up to this and this game to see how it plays out, because this is going to tell a big part of the tale of the AFC East, and I don't know how it's going to go just yet. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. Anyway, Bills fans, you got your victory. Hope you enjoy it. I'll see you soon in like 6 days, 7 days. It's going to be an exciting matchup. This is Curtis saying, thanks for staying to the end. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time. Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.